Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 with another Transformers video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Galaxy's Toys mini statue 08 Destroyer, which is their take on a microscale / legend scale Megatron. Here we have Megatron attacking Autobot City with his fusion cannon and his energon mace, which he did not have at that time. On the back we just have him in his gun mode. Got some legal jargon stuff, stickers, labels, stuff. So that's it for the box. And unlike Optimus, he does come with physical instructions, which I'm all for. That being said, he's not terribly complicated, so you should be able to figure it out if you don't want to use these. But yeah, there's that. And it's a quick look here at the figure himself. A very nice little Megatron. It's got, you know, the usual Megatron fusion cannon there on his arm. Does have those red bits on his forearms. Does not have the red on the sides of his waist or on his inner legs, but does have the little buttons and stuff on his tum-tums. He does have painted red eyes. I might be able to kind of make that out there. And it does look like they have painted his eyebrows black as well. On the back, just kind of got his, you know, gun barrel. And there's definitely some die cast in this little guy. He has definitely got some heft to him for his size. So, and I don't think, yeah, there's definitely not any in their Optimus, but this guy definitely has some die cast. So, make sure his legs are even. We'll go over articulation. His head is on a ball joint and a hinge, so he gets plenty of forward and backwards. He does get a little bit of side to side, and you can kind of spin his head around. There we go. It's twisted there, but it's a little bit stiff and hard to grip. So he does get some ab crunch again, which is cool. Does have a full 360 waist. Arms are on ball joints, so you do get plenty of motion there. Get full 360. Do get 90 degrees at the elbow. Do get bicep swivel, though it does get a little stiff at certain points there. You do get a little bit of up and down at the wrist if you want it, just because of how he transforms. Because of his transformation, you do also get a side ab crunch, but only one way. But hey, it's there. You can use it. The hip skirts are on double hinges. His legs are on a hinge and a ball joint, so you do get some movement there. Can kick that far forward and that far back. Do get very nice 90-degree knee bend, and yeah, you don't really get a thigh swivel, but that ball joint does help with that. You do actually get a proper ankle tilt and a little bit of up and down at the toe. So there is some decent posability there. Oh yeah, and their gun barrels on a hinge if you care about that. I will say the waist can be a little loose, does kind of pop off sometimes, but not super bad. Like, he'll pass shake test. So, but now we need to do a quick couple of comparisons. Sorry, I just felt something jab my foot. So here is next to the Core Class Nemesis Prime. Here is next to Dr. Wu's Prime. Give you an idea there. And don't really have any other good comparisons for this mode. But yeah, now we should definitely talk about his accessories, because he does come with quite the little bundle. So, first, let me open this tiny Ziploc bag. Come on. There we go. So, first and foremost, we have the Optimus killing pistol. We have the movie laser sword. We do have an energon mace, and this is somewhat flexible, but is still a hard plastic, so I would recommend being careful with this, as it could, you know, still break. And probably one of the more interesting ones, he comes with the helmet for controlling the Optimus Prime clone from that one episode. So that's interesting there. Even has a little mouth microphone thing. So as far as all this goes, the helmet you can just stick right there on top of his head, and it sits there reasonably well. Doesn't like plug in or anything, but you know, holds well enough. As far as the energon mace and the other weapons, they do just have little pegs that slide right into his hands. The mace does not replace his hand, so inaccurate perhaps, but you know, I think it's fine. And yeah, you can just do the same on the other side. Give him the sword. Now he's got 2 energy weapons. And because it's the most ridiculous way to do this, we'll put the gun in the cannon arm. So yeah. It's got all sorts of neat little accessories. But wait, there is one more accessory thing that we need to talk about. And I'm very surprised they did this with a micro scale Megatron, because he comes with this camera for the movie episode. No, I'm just kidding. As you might imagine, this is the cannon mount piece, because he does come with the stock and silencer. So if we take the stock, and there is a notch here, and we line that up with this top of this, it'll slide over. And then with the the connection point is on a hinge, and we want to bring that so that it's facing at a right angle, and we can slide this on here, come down here, and these will open up like so, and then there are a couple of joints, and you get his cannon weapon. And as same with the masterpiece and original toy and all that, you can plug his fusion cannon on top as well. And these do slide into his hands, so you can have him blasting away at all those pathetic Autobots. So I think it's really cool that they included this as well. And again, this guy was like 25 bucks, like 26 after shipping and tax. So I'm surprised they put all this extra stuff in there. It's really cool. But we'll go ahead and slide that off. And yep, accidentally just took the fusion can apart. This does just come off. I don't really understand why the fusion cannon front comes off. It doesn't like extend or anything. It just kind of pops off. And I do believe, yeah, there is a little notch and peg kind of thing. So there is a specific way to put it on. I don't really understand why, but that's how it is. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take this apart. Take this apart, transform this a little bit back, and fold that down. Put these 3 pieces off to the side, and we will work on transformation now. So, first thing we're going to do, we are going to come here to his arms, And we are going to rotate his hands around like so. And when we get him around, we want to flip that little hammer up. Then we're going to fold this around the same way and bring that hammer up. Then we're going to come here to his shoulder. We're going to bring it out straight to the side, line up his arm, and compress that elbow. Going to do the same on the other side. Bring it in, line it up, compress the elbow, and then we are going to pop open his chest here, like so. And you are going to rotate this arm up, and this whole bit is on a slider. You're going to slide it all the way across, and then you're going to bring it down like so. Then you're going to fold his head underneath all the way in like so, and then you can close up his chest again, and you want to just get those arms tabbed together like so. Then we're going to come here, and we are going to take this thin piece and pull it back, and there is just the teeny tiniest tab that does go into this, so you do want to make sure to do that first. Then you're going to bring this around, straighten out the barrel, and you can just push this inside, and then now you see you have the top part of that gun. And then we are going to rotate this to face forward, and then we are going to lift this whole double hinge ab crunch bit up, and we're going to leave that like that for just right now. Got to fold down these sides of the hip skirts, and we do want to straighten out those double hinges as well, so that they stick all the way out to the side. Then we are going to take his hips, and we're going to bring them down on the little arms that they are on, like so. Bring them down like that. Then we are going to come here to the back of the leg. We're going to open this up on this hinge right here. And then you're going to fold this whole piece down like so. Then we are going to just kind of want to get your nail in here on the side of the panel. You're just going to pull it out. You can see there's just a teeny tiny little gap there now. And that'll give you the room to rotate it around, and then you can fold this knee all the way up like so. And then we are going to fold this back around like so. And now this little bit is sticking out the front. So rinse and repeat. We want to fold this back, bring this down, get your nail in there and just bring that out, rotate it around, fold that knee all the way around, and then we want to fold this back around, close it up, and now we can tab these two legs together. Just make sure that we're tabbing everything together. Might take a little bit of fiddling. There we go. And then now we're gonna, again, this double hinge here, gonna bring it all the way down and forward. There are two tiny little divots here on the bottoms of his feet. They're gonna go into these tiny little tabs that are on his hands here. So, and they don't really lock in so much as just kind of guide it into place. Then you can bring down the hip skirts, cover up the rest of that gray. And mine unfortunately does have the auto untab feature, which I utterly despise. But then we want to bring this around. Actually, we want to bring this piece all the way. So this is how it's supposed to be. Bring it all the way up and around. Then you can bring this down on the double hinges. And then you just sort of want to cover up this big gap down here on the bottom, like so. And then this, there's two kind of little slots here on his thighs. You're just going to kind of stick that in there. That, again, doesn't really tab. It's more just to guide it into a certain spot. And that's probably going to be my biggest complaint, is that a lot of the parts of the gun don't actually tab in, including this one that does actually have the tab, but also includes the auto untab feature that I utterly despise. But now that he is in his pistol mode, we can bring in all those accessories. He now has this tab on top here for his fusion cannon, like so. Then we can just take the silencer, slip that over the barrel, and then this piece has two, you can sort of see how there's some like teeth to it, two little tabs, and there are two slots here, and you just kind of squeeze that on there, and now you have him in his decked out pistol mode, and it does look nice. And despite my issues with it, I do think it is still a fun little transformation. Again, my issue is that like it doesn't hold together as well as I would like, because not everything really tabs in. But again, most of the joints are pretty solid, so you know, if you shake it, well, that comes off, but for the most part he will at least hold together. So it's not the worst. So but we'll go ahead and set that there like so. And again, same with the Optimus. These accessories just kind of hang out. They don't store anywhere. But I don't think that's terribly surprising with all the stuff on this one. So, here he is next to the Dr. Wu Menace King Megatron. You can see he's a decent chunk bigger in this mode. He really feels a lot bigger in the robot mode, but they do both look nice. Maybe you can find a transformer big enough to dual wield Megatrons. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. There he is next to, yeah, that's one issue, Core Class Optimus. And here he is next to the Galaxy Toys Optimus, so their take on Optimus. But yeah, so this being their, like, one of their first molds, and I think this was like the third version, because I know they had like a regular version, then I think they had like a clear version, and then they did like an Ultra Magnus, and now they have this metallic version. But this is like their first mold, and then this is their most recent one. There's definitely been some changes. Again, like this guy really has some heft. He definitely has die cast in several places, honestly. But he's not that much more expensive. He's only like a few bucks more expensive. But I do feel that the Optimus is a little more solid in alt mode. So give and take on that, but they are both very nice figures. I do enjoy both of them. So I do look forward to trying their other figures, because again, I think they have a, I know they have a Prowl, at least I'm pretty sure it was Prowl. It was one of the Dodsons. And then I think they have a Warpath as well. So I definitely want to check those out. But yeah, that was my look at their Megatron, and at the end of the day, I do think for the price and the size, I think I recommend him. I think he's decent enough. So yeah, go and see if you can find him and pick him up. I got mine from Shozy. I do believe he's still in stock there, so I would recommend checking there. And I think that's about it for this review. So this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.